Alright, so I took my break. So far no call at work, but that might call in the next 5 minutes. So, there's a moment of panic when a feeling of tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. Using it as a way to put distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now? We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 6 of us in this room, 4 of them. Friends at that. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in the corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading looks Lily shoots my way, while they all huddle in the corner behind Steel and Feathers. But I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. It's never an excuse. Why? Even Hana has her cunning, manipulative moments, though she does it much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day, if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her, now that she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be vivid. Everything that I built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! All of you!
Oh god.
This is all your fault! If I've died in this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Okay.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
How the hell are we gonna do this? We're all in the same boat here!
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened! Hana would still be...
Suddenly, Daisy steps up and slaps the knife away from my head. Yeah! Rebecca!
Don't you dare, Luke! Don't you dare put that blame on us!
Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if she might just rip my head off in this instant. Said knife slides uselessly under the table, out of my reach. I should have expected she's not the kind to submit even under threat. Right now, all of us appear smaller, facing her anger. Oh, last I checked, we're the ones trying to do the saving here.
And what about your friend over there? Are you saying she is responsible for this mess? For the lives this sorting undertook? Dragging other people into her own problems just so she can save her little sorry self? You think I haven't seen that before? Getting real tired of your double standards, Daisy!
You know this curse is an entirely different issue, Luke. Because, knowing you, I don't doubt that even without that blasted letter, you would have eventually... Rebecca, stop! All of you stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She has always given me the impression of someone so meek from the moment I met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She has never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent. If anything, that meltdown she had during the open house had only proven my assumptions. Until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mom would look at me. Practically when I've done something wrong. And it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She has done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh. If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Steel, the big oaf, doesn't even dare break it, neither does Feathers. With both merely watching us, bunch of wimps, these men. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again, after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper, we...
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, a crease forming between her eyebrows, while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after that admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it, from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit quite well with me. Impatience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of this, even her friends has no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right? Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
I hope.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but my hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something?
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
At the mention of the letter, all of a sudden, Mint stands. I've almost forgotten she's here. Her ramblings have faded away in the shouting. Without warning, she snatches the paper out of my hand. It's a miracle it didn't rip right then and there, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing! We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got! No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything! I think... You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children! Victims! All because they had no idea what this thing will do to them!
Tuh.
Oh god, those poor souls! They were screaming and begging before she...
Well, duty calls. Let's just continue on. I just started my session, which is... yeah, almost 10 minutes in.
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died, my coworkers, the open house clients. None of them had seen it, even Rose, and yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go! We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place...
Steele has been quiet this entire time. That the sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him with, likely, the same questions in our eyes.
What?
I just remembered something, a friend told me. You know, stuff about ghosts, or curses. You probably don't want to hear it.
Get to the point!
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
Remember what I told you the last time you and Ash visited? A few days ago?
You mean what Andrew told you? Those were just stories, Zach. It might not even help.
Regardless, Steele pauses while he allows Lily to remember. Soon enough, whatever it is dawns on her. Her face lights up with something like hope. Of all things in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up and she reaches for Steele's arm to give it a squeeze. A reassurance? Or a confirmation? The meaning is lost even to Daisy, who glances at them, baffled.
Belle, what are you... Becca, it's this place.
What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value.
What? No? We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this! Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
It's not only that. Think about it.
Then, they proceed to tell some ridiculous narrative about the supernatural. Stories about ghosts, legends, curses born out of great anger and pain, and whatever else people use to scare children. Not that I believe any of it, as if knowing will help. Bunch of loons, these people, officially off their rockers. To think I'll be stuck in this nightmare with people like them. What did I ever do to the world? What did I ever do to the world? Of course, it's all absurd until...
I think it's just like what the professor guy said. Just like that old story. This mansion and some other thing might be keeping her here. You know, something he wanted in life, but never got to have. Something like that.
Or maybe it's not something, Zachary.
Someone. The who doesn't have to be uttered out loud. There's only one person in this room who that woman calls after. Every single one of them has heard it. Bloody hell is in the reluctant shift in Daisy's eyes. when they flicker over to me, though only briefly. She is also holding information on her own, or perhaps a realization she just had. Doesn't matter. I know when people have slowly started to turn on me. How do they think I lasted in this cutthroat world? Betray them before they do the same thing to you. Put a knife in their back before they can act. Kill or be killed. Survival in a nutshell. What now? Are they going to throw me out at that creature? See what happens to save themselves? I am no fool.
No. You're all in on this, aren't you? Of course! Of fucking course!
Luke, that isn't what I...
Are you all going to stoop that low?
It's nothing like that, Ash. All we're saying is that maybe he might be able to do something about this.
Drop it, you guys. We're not leaving anyone here.
Just like that, their bickering begins anew. Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them. To think this is all the solution they can come up with. I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. The voices have become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And they may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually, they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Look at that. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. Fuck, I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shit about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors, with the only sane one doing the thinking. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. I decide to burn the letter or burn the mansion. Well, here's the choice. So who wrote the letter? It has to be the maid. Because the lady was crazy enough to kill her own husband. Or whoever it was. God, please say it's a good one. Burn the mansion. I am going to regret this, I will. But with these cries growing louder, this has become the easiest decision I have ever made. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing, really. It's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act fast, think fast, and what else is the root cause of our problems but this place where the letter was found? No need to make things more complicated. It started here. Why won't it end here? What if what Lily has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before someone thinks of putting this blasted place up in the market. When I get out of this place, I swear I'm suing a bunch of people. Run that estate company to the ground if need be. We spent millions, damn it. Millions! With a sigh, perhaps a heavy heart, I open one of the drawers in my study table. You're gonna use a lighter. Aren't you? Taking a bottle of liquor out for myself, then passing it on to every occupant in the room. They accept it, but not without a look of protest or a confused glance my way. It does shut them all up, so maybe I've done something good. Even more when I pop the cork off the bottle and pour its contents on the floor.
Well, what are you simpletons waiting for?
We waste no time dousing the whole room, the smell of alcohol filling the air. If I didn't know any better, I'd say they're more than eager to set this whole place on fire. And the blaze catches easily in this room when I set it alight using the blasted paper as kindling. Oh, he did that too. With the whole place drenched with wine and all manner of things alcoholic I've been hiding from Hana, the small fire soon turns into an inferno. In a matter of seconds, we're out the door. It doesn't exactly lead where I'm hoping it will. Oh, look at this, it's hazy. Although ending up in the kitchen does give us more reason to play like a bunch of pyromanics. Fishing the liquor stocks from the cupboards, we also do the same thing we've done to the study. Door after door in every room we pass, pouring bottle after bottle of expensive aged liquor and setting everything on fire, only leaving once the blaze has started in earnest. When we ran out of liquor, we simply drop the bottle and take one off from many nooks I stashed one. And there is no lack of it in here. The hard stuff, the shorts, the watered down kind. Gifts from a distant relative, friends, so-called friends, you name it. I made sure there's always one within reach.
How many of these things do you keep in this house?
I always have a few bottles in the bedroom, you know, the parlor and the dining room.
You have problems, man.
Well, isn't this the time to discuss them?
Hana had called me out on this numerous times before, telling me of the same thing. I've always told her she doesn't know the half of it, before completely dismissing her concerns. Worry ward that woman. Turns out it'll be useful now. Not to drown out my sorrows, but for this, wonder of wonders, though I suppose I can now say it has also saved my life. But there's no time for some introspection now, because with each room we pass and burn, the place also becomes easier to navigate. As if it's slowly righting itself, returning to what it's supposed to be. Soon, we finally find ourselves standing before the main door. The strong odor of burning wood, cloth, and varnish alike wafts from under the doors of the rooms we previously torched, slowly filling the hall with a thick black smoke. The blaze has also started in earnest in every part of the house. I can already feel the heat seeping from the rooms I set aflame. In a matter of minutes, flames will engulf the whole house. Fitting, that is when she appears again before us, watching us from the top of the stairs like her world, while her world goes up in flames around her. However, what catches my eye is that expression on her face. Not the vile smile I've already grown accustomed to, or the one where her eyes gleam with complete hatred. This one? Forlorn is the only word I can think to describe it.
No, please. Help me. Help me, please.
Can the dead still feel? Can she hear us? Or is that merely another one of her tricks to trap us in this nightmare? Like this, however, she seems almost like the woman she used to be. I have to remind myself she's no longer Hana. The woman I loved is gone, and who stands before me is nothing but a pale imitation of who she used to be. And I don't waste any time pondering over it. Not with the exit just a few steps away. The doors finally open, and through it, I can glimpse the world outside. Safety. However, I do turn, if only to see the last of her. A farewell, more than anything. For all her attempts to lure me, draw me in, her wishes to be with me, she does not stop me when I finally run from this horrid place. Quietly, she disappears. Did Hana die? Watching a multi-million pound house burn before me, for some reason, nothing about this bothers me. Maybe it's that one last look on her face that has changed it. Maybe it's what I seen and heard inside. There's only a calm, a stillness. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. ... I'm guessing Hana died. Epilogue. Like the flames that engulfed the mansion that night, whispers quickly spread across Luxborn City after the incident. Officers who investigated it have simply deemed it an unfortunate accident, resulting in the deaths of innocent lives. What? Regardless of the truth, Luke Wright files criminal charges against Briar Reality Corporation after, for undisclosed reasons to the public, forcing the latter to declare bankruptcy. A move that has merely stoked the rumors further. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets of the Armagar Mansion has hidden for centuries. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the ashes of the now ruined mansion know. However, on nights when the wind howls and thunder booms across the sky, some still claim hearing of voices where it once stood, of cries and wails that fill the nights and desperate calls of help for anyone who dares listen. As for those who once dread its halls, God. Although Luke Wright has won his legal battle with Briar Reality Corporation, another tech leak places him and the Wright Enterprise under the spotlight months later. This time, however, with the then Chief Inspector Harvey Lee's sudden absence, the businessman isn't able to escape close scrutiny. In an investigation headed by the LPD's Detective Inspector Ashton Frey, all of the Wright Enterprise's illegal business dealings within the past 10 years come to light. Although his involvement with other crimes is still being investigated, the disclosure has caused a huge outcry, especially from the city's business sector. Sued on multiple grounds, the company is ultimately forced to shut down. Meanwhile, to avoid public outrage, the once affluent businessman immediately leaves the city. All of his bank accounts have been emptied, including his Luxborn apartments, leaving not a trace or clue where he might be hiding. The last anyone has seen of the man was on a flight bound for Ireland. Till this day, no one has heard from him, even his people from the old Wright Enterprise, who have all been left to deal with the aftermath. Though over the past few months after the situation has calmed, some have made claims of spotting him fitting in and out of the city, if only to check on those he has left behind. Months after her recovery, Maria Makala heads back to her homeland, ready to close a chapter of the past she has left hanging for so long. There, she visits Lorraine's grave, asking for forgiveness from the girl she once loved, something she has intentionally avoided for years. In spite of this, a different regret still clings to her, one that has been left by what she has witnessed inside the Ermengarde mansion. She never returns to Luxborn after, leaving her interior design company in the hands of her secretary instead. But with her absence, the business eventually declines, until they are forced to shut it. Unexpectedly, she turns to music years later, hoping it'll someday drown out the voices and the gruesome memories still lingering in her head. Wow. That's still sad. Wait, what the hell? By some stroke of luck, or an unfortunate circumstance of fate, Marianne encounters Luke Wright once again, almost a year after she returned home. She meets the man in the local marketplace, newly settled, fumbling, and confused. Although her opinion of him remains affident at best, she reluctantly offers help. Especially after seeing him stumble on his garlic more times than she deems acceptable. And it becomes a start. Not to a close friendship by any means, but perhaps something akin to it. And on better days, when virtual and scathing words don't get in the way, there's only the pleasant companionship one offers to the other. Casual visits to the other's home, sharing a bottle of wine or two, and simply talking about anything under the sun. A comfort after their mutual loss. Something they both eventually learn to appreciate with time. With help from family and friends, Zachary Steele is soon able to open a photography studio of his own. Something he has only dreamed of having as a child. Although he still hopes to get it back to making indie films someday, client work and small projects has kept him mostly busy. Hectic as it may be, he can only be glad for the amount of work pouring in. It has made moving on from the incident in the Ermengarde mansion easier, if not faster. So, well, I didn't get the true ending because Hana died. But while there are still nightmares with support from his family, his doctor, and his own drive, the dark images have finally turned into pleasant dreams. Well, it's a good ending for Zach. He's aware he won't ever truly forget, but he's no longer running away. At times, when he's not busy or after a hard day's work, he thinks there's another story for the big screen to be told in that. An idea he may soon turn into reality once his time affords it. In the months that follow, Rebecca Gales becomes a prominent researcher within Luxborn's major academic circles, especially after writing what she has discovered about Anselm Village and the Ermengarde mansion. With help from Professor Andrew Clark, she is soon able to secure fundings to continue her research, presenting her findings yearly at local and international symposiums. Now, at the tail end of her current study, she hopes to publish her first book, correcting all inaccuracies in the city's current history. A move supported by both colleagues, students, and friends alike. Though she knows she still has a long way to go before she can even begin to change people's minds about it, Professor Clark has warned her as much. She perseveres. Doing it not for herself, but for the sake of a history the future generation must never forget. No matter how disturbing her experience with the curse may have been, she remains the worrywart she has always been. Even after what she has seen, she continues to fret over people she cares about, sometimes much to their frustration or embarrassment. But if there's one thing that has shifted, it's her relationship with the people in their little group, particularly with Zachary Steele. In fact, on numerous occasions, she has been spotted dropping by his new studio, bringing the man food on days when he's swamped with work. They also seem to have grown more comfortable around each other than before. Maybe it's born out of their shared experience. Or maybe the way they see each other has simply changed naturally due to the years they've known each other. Regardless of the whys, it's a change that a man welcomes and appreciates. In turn, he strives to return her kind gestures whenever he can. For all the horrors they've seen, who would have thought something good would come of it? Things have inevitably become strained between Ashton Frey and Rebecca Gales in the months following her confession. And with their lives getting busier, the two have eventually drifted apart. Although neither talks about it and the teacher still strives to forget an old love, it's clear in Rebecca that there are still feelings left she couldn't let go of. If anything, however, this has only made it obvious how much has changed between them, and how much she has clung to the idea of Ashton from their younger days, the one that may not have been there in the first place. Merely an idea for a star-eyed young girl. But if there will be a time she will be able to accept this, to move on from the hurt and repair an old friendship that has fallen to ruin, only she knows. Amidst her struggles, Rebecca finds an unlikely companion in Luke Wright. While he avoids the city like a plague nowadays, after losing both his company and Hana, he manages to drop by from time to time. Mostly to check on his goddaughter, Kylie Torres, though the man still won't admit it when asked. Rebecca still regards the man as insufferable. She doubts it will ever change. But after all she has seen, much as she denies it, she now considers his presence the closest thing she has to comfort. A similar sentiment the former businessman seems to hold, even confiding in the woman of his problems, petty or otherwise. Their friendship may be awkward at best, but with the grim reality of death having once shadowed over the two of them, it's something they eventually grow fond of in time. With her newfound courage, Isabella Santos finally chooses to pursue what she really wants for herself. Having made enough to keep her family afloat for a few years, and with their blessing, she quits her job at Briar Realty Corporation and takes the scholarship offer from the local university. Though remarkably out of practice and unsure if she'll be able to keep up by the time she returns to university, she finds her feet soon enough with help from people close to her. And, with her confidence in her skills growing, so do the number of people recognizing her and her work. It doesn't take long for several award-giving bodies to take notice of her. For all of her accomplishments, however, she has never truly forgotten what happened at the Ermengarde mansion. The images still remain in her, and on particularly unpleasant nights, terrors continue to visit her dreams. She knows those won't ever disappear from her life. It has become a part of her in the same way death has permanently taken from her. However, she's no longer afraid. And, with a brave face, she carries on, earnestly wishing that someday she'll be able to paint brighter, more vivid thoughts on her canvas. An honest portrayal of life and hope amidst the fear. Shortly after accepting the scholarship grant from Luxburn University, Isabella Runn moves from Sandwell residence in favor of staying in a dorm close to her campus. Although Rebecca Gale's quick to offer assistance for the move, she does admit she will be missing her neighbor of more than 5 years. When all is said and done, she has become fonder of the girl over the years, and with their shared experiences over the curse, they have only grown closer. Isabella leaves with a promise to visit every once in a while. And even though she still jokingly complains about Rebecca's bossy attitude, she confesses that she also misses the women's fussing. After all, in a place miles away from her real family, Rebecca is still the closest thing she has to a sister. More than a year later, once everything in their respective lives have settled, Zachary Steele and Isabella Santos finally hold their first exhibit together, a project that has been in the making for almost 2 years after the photographer casually brought it up to the other artist. While merely intended as a small event, it has been surprisingly attended by several members of Luxbourne's upper class and art enthusiasts. Although only a few of the pieces have been meant for sale, the show has brought prominence to Zachary and Isabella's names in the city arts scene. Nice. It has since been followed by several other exhibits by the two, both in and out of the city. Currently, they are planning to hold their first show overseas. Yet, even with this unexpected, overwhelming fame, friendship between the two has remained strong. Theirs, after all, is a bond that goes beyond being mere partners in a project. He's her family, as much as she is. She is his. While she's aware she still has plenty of ways to go, getting back to school has also opened a lot of opportunities for Isabella. At times, part-time work has started to become in droves, and she is able to support herself financially through her art alone. Something she has only dreamed of as a child. And when clients are generous enough, she is able to send money back home as well, despite her family's reassurances. One such client is Maria Makaya, interior design company, who frequently commissions her for murals after the woman has learned of her skill. Though at times she finds it difficult to keep up with the interior designer's standard for quality, it's a job and a challenge she's only too happy to accept if it means doing what she loves. Following his success in bringing the Luxbourne firm case to a close, Ashton Frey receives a recommendation for transfer to Luxbourne's lead agency against organized crimes, an endorsement eagerly backed by the newly appointed successor to the late Chief Inspector Lee, Abigail Harris. Knowing he'll have more resources, leeway, and a bigger chance at ultimately bringing Luke Wright to justice, Ashton Frey accepts. He still warns the people close to him against Wright and associates, but only a friendly reminder now, more than anything. Though he does worry, he believes they are wise enough to know what they are doing and trust their judgment. For now, he has decided to leave the evidence and the law to speak for itself and take care of the man once the proper time comes. Nowadays, police work and operations keep him busy, sometimes taking him away from the city he grew up in for days on end. A rare thing for him to enjoy once upon a time, yet this time, he never loses his drive. Simply growing more determined after having finally found a clear purpose close to the rush and excitement he dreamed of as a child. Although Ashton still keeps mum about specific details of his work, his experience with the curse has slowly taught him how to open up, especially to those who he knows that genuinely care for him. He still has a long way to go, he knows that. But for the sake of the people who are still with him, those who have chosen to stay. He hopes that there will come a day when he no longer has to hide behind his own lies. A day when he is no longer afraid of facing the truth in his own words. On his days off, Ashton is usually seen loitering around Zachary Steele's studio, either to help him out on one of his pet projects or exasperating the other man on purpose. Either or, it's mostly the latter. At certain times, he'll volunteer to model for one of Zach's projects, in spite of the photographer's reassurances that it's not needed. Regardless, Ashton assists before complaining how monotonous the whole process is hours later, to Zach's utter amusement. Though sometimes they may get into small, trivial arguments, things have stayed cordial between the two. If anything, the ordeal they've both gone through has merely strengthened a friendship the detective didn't expect to find in anyone. Aww. Between the lingering trauma and their immensely attempts at normalcy, it takes a few months for the awkwardness to finally lift for both Ashton Frey and Isabella Santos. Of several weeks trying to find their voice and remembering how to act around each other, despite enduring affections. But once the unease fades, there's only their usual banter and rampart to fall back on, the casual talk and the friendly jibs. And for the both of them, it's easy, like breathing, like coming home after another journey, a comfort in spite of the things they have gone through. Their days may still be filled with petty arguments and light teasing, but in the aftermath, when all has been said and done, something constant has already been forged between them. A quiet, steadfast thing they can both hold on to as they both carry on. ... And that is it of the letter! I have to say, overall, it's not a horrible experience, but I got a pretty decent ending. I don't think it's a true ending, but it fits in so well with all the choices I've done. But only losing Hana, and that sucks! I thought I had a choice to go grab her, but it didn't come. Maybe because I didn't make the right choices with Hana, because I argued with Luke. If that's why, maybe I didn't increase the relationship status. I merely went with I pleased, but it's still a decent ending. It's just Hana isn't there anymore, and I feel bad. Maybe it was too late for her. She was possessed. But I think I know that we could still save her. And maybe I'll do that, but that's the whole game. I'm finally done with the letter. So I'm gonna just let the credits roll, see if there's a secret ending. And yeah, very good story. I love it. Really love it. You know, time to move on. So I'll just let the credits roll, and I gotta head to work. Well, dot dot dot.
Tio? Where are you, Tio?
Wait, what?
Tio? Please? She's here!
Wait, what?
She's still here, Tio!
Really? Oh! Oh my lord! Shadows. Come on! Now I have to get a different ending. Oh no! No! Oh my... Fuck! Is that really the ending that I want? Okay, fuck that! Fuck you! No! I do not accept that! I will not accept that! God... but I'm done with the game. But I don't want that! Well, fuck. I guess I'll, well, I already completed the story, so... I guess I'll see what the true ending is, because I do not want that for Kylie. Well, I guess that's it for now. We'll take a look at it, and I guess get to a better ending where Kylie doesn't get her neck snapped. So, have a good day, everyone. Just to make sure it starts. Okay, well, so I didn't like the ending that I got, cause, well, mainly because of Kylie died at the end. But I realized that maybe once Hana has possessed, I don't know, I haven't really looked up the other endings. I just, you know, I went through it blindly, and I gotta say, it was decent until I hit that ending at the very end. The ending of the very end of that ending is what I'm trying to say. And it did, poor Kylie. But, anyway, I don't think Hana could be saved once she got possessed. I don't know. And I realized that probably I think they burned the once I hit burn the mansion. They burned the mansion and the letter, but that wasn't that didn't get rid of the curse. It just I guess it was only temporarily, because what drove the ghost was love, and burning the letter will not suffice, because Lady Charlotte, who is supposedly in love with the cousin, but so is the girl who is Takao, if I said that right. They're both in love with him, but Lady Charlotte was cruel and killed the girl. So the girl haunted her, and then somehow, and Lady Charlotte wrote the letter, I suppose. It would only make sense because during the memory, the girl and the cousin were both being tortured by Lady Charlotte, and then because of that, the girl haunted Charlotte, and Charlotte killed herself, and now we have this fucking wraith of pure hatred and love. And once someone to wanted Luke because he looks like the cousin, but Luke has to die, I suppose, and I don't have that option. But the only option is burn the letter, and I don't know. Does this get rid of, you know, Charlotte's plea for help? Because I think it was Charlotte who wrote the letter and not the Taco or Tiako, Taco. Well, whatever. We'll just call her Taco. I don't know. But anyway, I want to see what this ending is. I want to see this. Okay, and it's an easy decision to make, especially with these cries growing louder. I'm getting tired of it, really. I simply have to act fast, think fast, and what else is the root cause of our problems but that letter? No need to make things more complicated. It started from there. Why won't it end there? If what Mint has said is true, then there's all the more reason to destroy it. Put an end to this madness before anyone can think of passing it on to someone else. Before this situation can stretch on far too long for my taste, I snatched the blasted paper away.
Give me that.
Hey, there's the lighter. I thought he used it to burn the mansion, but nope. Nah, he didn't do that like a badass. For a second, she appears offended, until I take out Mom's lighter. The sight of it shuts them all up. But I have no need of their opinion. In the next moment, I'm already setting the letter on fire. Oh, hello. This is new. And it doesn't take long for the thing to catch fire. It's old, for heaven's sake. Though I make sure none of the ashes end up on anything flammable. It'll be an inferno inside the study with all the books and documents stored here. Not that a big flame's anything to worry about in this case. In fact, in a matter of minutes, the damn thing has turned to ashes on the floor. With nothing left to burn though, the fire dies, fades into thin air in a whiff of smoke, leaving only the awful scent of burnt paper in the room. But as the last of the paper turns into cinders, a sharp, agonized wail echoes from somewhere in the mansion before quickly dying out, taking with her the horrors she has brought upon the mansion. Slowly, before our eyes, the mansion changes again. Blood fading from the walls, ceilings, and the floor, returning the place to its old beauty. Gone is the darkness, quickly replaced by the artificial lights in the room. Well, this is starting off pretty well. Because, now that I think about it, is Charlotte only tied? Charlotte is tied to the letter, but also by the love. So again, I guess maybe a obsession would be the better word for the cousin. So I think it's a temporary solution. I don't think she'll be gone. But what of the other girl? Will she swear vengeance or will she live in peace? So I guess we'll find out. Even the smell of blood and gore has completely disappeared from the room. Perhaps the only thing undesirable left are the dumbfounded looks they're giving me.
See? Wasn't that easy?
Are you shitting me?
For fuck's sake, you people need to get your heads checked. How did you all make it this far in life with that kind of thinking? Well, you can all thank me later for this. You may now show yourselves out of my property before I call the police on you simpletons.
You're forgetting your wife, by the way. I walk out of the study without a single glance back at them, more than eager to finally get fresh air. They can find their way out of this place, I'm sure. I better not catch them again here, though, or I will not be happy. Outside, there's only silence. Alright, well, what of Hana? That's the only thing I'm worried about. Deafening. Still. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it, from the wide open windows, is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxborn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds, while the rest of the world steers, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Dot dot dot. Dot dot dot. Epilogue. So, for undisclosed reasons to the public, the mansion is put back on the market months later, while Bio Realty Corporation faced criminal charges filed by one Luke Wright. So, after the news of the lawsuit broke out and Realty Company's declaration of bankruptcy, rumors quickly spread across Luxborn City. But for those who still believe in the stories of the old, and those who know the truth, it is but a testament to the curse and the secrets the Armor Guard Mansion has hidden for centuries. Okay, so it's going to the same dialogue. So. If there will come a time those will finally be revealed, only the hallowed halls of the mansion know. To this day, it stands silent. Damn, there are still voices from within, so yeah, curse is not fully lifted. As for those who once dread these halls... Okay, I guess it's the same. Yep, it's definitely the same epilogue as the other one. And they're still meeting. I gotta say, Luke looks younger in this than he is in game. Yep. So it's the same epilogue as the other one. The only thing different is, well, nothing, just a new dialogue during that path. No one is in a relationship. Everyone are friends, but more than friends, family. Yep. Kylie. Goddamn Kylie. There's Isabella. I also like that hairstyle too. The long hair plus a fashion into a ponytail. Or kind of a ponytail. There's this. There's an exhibit. There's Marianne again. Ash. Yep, nothing different at all. Yeah. There's nothing special. So we didn't see Kylie's death. Which is a good thing, really. But at the same time, it's... Now that's a decent ending without a horrible part. Well, we might as well take a look at the branch, right? When it's over here, we could go back to this. And here's a branching tree. Story update. Common root. Common root. Common root. Question. Wow, look at this. Look how big this branch is. Holy shit. Common root. Common root. Will I not see, like, how the... How big is this? Like, everything has a common root. Holy... Wow, there is a... Wow. It doesn't even answer burn the mansion. Burn the letter. And even then, it's still going. Like, how many more is there? Holy shit, this is Luke's branch? How is this still going? Is there an end? Like, I'm just... Right, let's go to Ash. Oh god. There we go. God, it's even laggy when it's doing this. Which will lead to an end. Alright, well, yeah, I guess that's it for that. So, it doesn't have a secret ending like the mansion, but still, that is not the... That is a cruel ending. So Luke, Baron 3. So, true endings. I don't have true endings. So, individually bad, that's Luke's escape. Variant 3. Variant 1. 2. Isabella. Ashton. So, I have 4 of them good. That's bad, apparently, Mario. Friendship good. Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely got friendships. Friendship bad. Ashton and Rebecca. Yeah, it's yeah. So I don't have any romance endings, or even a true ending. But overall, it's friendly good. Yeah, look at all that. It's mostly friendly good, except with Ashton and Rebecca, which is kind of sad, to be honest. So, well, I guess that's it. So, anyway, and that's the end of the letter. I don't think I'm gonna spend time doing the other endings. I think someone... There'll be other people that'll do that. I'm just doing it for the playthrough. And that is a great story. Hopefully they make another one just as complex as this. So, that's it, and have a good day.